What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Fortnite First. Today we have a very big news video for you guys here on the channel. As you know, the first day of World Cup qualifiers are going down, and for some of the pros, it's not going so high. Today we're going to be talking about a player who is signed to 100 Thieves that goes by Kenneth, and he has just had an absolute mental breakdown on Twitter. Now I want to make this very clear, this video isn't meant to attack Kenneth or send any hate. I am simply going to be reading off his tweets because I think there's a conversation to be had here. Kenneth has always been very open about depression and anxiety on Twitter, and after failing to make it to day 2 of the qualifiers this weekend, it seems like it got the better of him and he went into more detail about it. I think it's important to look at this side of Fortnite news because a lot of people probably have this idea that being a Fortnite pro player is the best thing in the world, and I think the performance anxiety that Kenneth is dealing with in the situation he is right now showcases all the things that make being a pro competitive gamer Fortnite player extremely difficult. The grass is always greener, you know? As always, guys, if you are a fan of Fortnite, Fortnite drama, Fortnite news, Fortnite tournament coverage, or just anything Fortnite, feel free to hit that subscribe button. We are on the road to 25,000 subscribers. You guys have been absolutely killing it with the support on the channel, and I can't thank you enough. So if you could do me a favor, hit the like button on the video and subscribe and turn on those post notifications so you always know when we upload and join the Noti gang. Also, I'd love to hear your opinions on this situation. Do you think competitive gaming can stress somebody out way too much? Do you think it's good or bad for your mental health? Things like that. Let me know down in the comments after you've watched the video, and let's get into it. So if you don't know who Kenneth is, like I said, he's a pro Fortnite player. He's signed to 100 Thieves, and he's not the biggest name in the world. He has around 70,000 followers on Twitch, which is pretty good, and he has over $30,000 in earnings. However, as you can tell by this screenshot, he hasn't really won any major tournaments or placed in the money at any major tournaments since 2018. So for the last 6 months or so, he's been on a dry spell, which is probably something that contributes to his performance anxiety. I can't really speak on his part, but Myth has come out and talked about a similar situation he found himself in when Myth kind of fell off, as some would say. And for some context to the situation, like I said earlier, he basically failed to qualify for the second round of qualifiers, the Sunday qualifier, and he came to Twitter out of frustration to voice all the things that are going on for him and all the things that are affecting his ability to play the game. He had a complete mental breakdown, and like I said, no hate. This is sort of just to showcase the amount of stress and anxiety that some of these Fortnite pros deal with, even professional players under big names such as 100 Thieves. So after failing the qualify for day number 2, the first tweet in this thread says, "I guess I'll never get rid of my anxiety." After that, Kenneth tweets, 28 points, 1 game left, 7 points in the last 7 games. The instant one game goes bad, the anxiety and fear of not qualifying just kicks in. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. My mind is in shambles. I'm in the ground and just want everything to disappear. I'm dog poop. Like, man, we're only 2 tweets in and I feel so bad for this guy. Being a pro player and being able to compete at that level and getting 7 points in 7 games has got to be detrimental to your in-game confidence. And he says it right there. The instant one game goes bad, the anxiety and fear of not qualifying just kicks in. That's what I was referring to as performance anxiety, and like I said, there are a lot of pros that have come forth and talked about this sort of anxiety. And this is something that every pro player at some point in their career will deal with. This isn't just a Fortnite thing. Then he goes on to tweet, "I'm throwing, I'm playing like an idiot. I have 0 ping and still can't qualify. I can't do this. I just can't get my mind in place. Thoughts are all shrouded. Ha. Imagine being a pro and failing Sunday 3 out of 5 times for solos. F this." So he's obviously pretty frustrated. His solo qualifier performance has not been the best. I'd imagine being a pro player and being used to playing at this level and not being able to make it through the first round of qualifiers and solos sucks. The thing is, when you're in solos, you don't really have any excuses. If you aren't placing well, it's your fault. You don't have a duo that you're coordinating with or anything else you can shift blame to. So yeah, I can imagine being a pro player and having played in tournaments like Kenneth, getting these placements sucks, and it's probably detrimental to your confidence. On top of that, this is his job. If he's not placing, if he's not making money, 100 Thieves could drop him. I'm not saying they will. You know, 100 Thieves has so many investors and stuff. They have money to throw at players who are failing to necessarily make that money back in their earnings. And I'd imagine 100 Thieves is ran with a decent amount of compassion, so I don't think he's going to get dropped or anything like that. I don't think he's just going to not be making money because he can't qualify for Worlds. But this has got to be absolutely ego crushing. And again, a lot of players deal with these sort of anxieties. He then goes on to tweet, "I could be me so damn nuts. I have it in me. When I'm not nervous or anxious and just not caring, it works. I know what I can do because I've done it, but every single effing time it matters, I drop the bag and turn into the biggest excuse of a player the world has ever seen. I mean, Kenneth dog, you're being a little hard on yourself in that tweet in my opinion. But yeah, as you can tell, being a pro player signed to an organization, to lose full like this on Twitter isn't the best thing. But then after that, he goes on to tweet out his games. So on screen, you guys are seeing his placements in his 10 qualifying games. As he mentioned earlier, there was a 7-game streak where he only got 1 point. Keep in mind, this is an established pro player. He's got over $30,000 in tournament earnings playing against the best in the world, and he's under a big name like 100 Thieves. This guy has crazy potential, and these were his placements: 34 out of 100, 58 out of 99, 18 out of 99, 29 out of 100, 55 out of 100, 52 out of 100, 43 out of 100, 3 out of 100, and 28 out of 98, with a total of 18 kills throughout all those games. That's not a lot of points. So he goes on to tweet, "The fact is, I'm just washed. If I can't hold my mental when competing, that's on me, not the game. It hurts, but I need to accept it at this point. Staying composed is part of the skill gap, not everything's in game." Which is very true. Being able to hold your composure, especially in tight and close situations, is a big clutch factor. So at this point, Kenneth is basically convinced that his performance anxiety and his mental state are affecting his game to the point where he can't clutch. His attitude's just so bad, if one little thing goes wrong, he's just gonna fail. But it doesn't stop there. He tweets, "It doesn't matter how good my aim is, it doesn't matter how fast of a reaction time I have, it doesn't matter how good I build or how fast I edit, or whose walls I can take. I'm an idiot, I'm an idiot, I'm an idiot." He then tweets, "I'm letting every single friend, fan, family, most importantly the org that's kept me signed for over a year. You guys can't relate. I'm being torn apart mentally. If you're tired of reading this poop, F you, unfollow my Twitter." To me, that tweet is a complete red flag. That is so unprofessional. He's representing an org that has Drake and Scooter Braun as partial owners, as well as Nadeshot. Obviously, if he was thinking clearly, he would never tweet out something like this, which I think this tweet right here just really goes to show that full has been lost. And like I said, most people think being a competitive Fortnite player is the dream job. Being a competitive gamer in general is the best job ever. Super easy, you just play video games all day, right? I think this tweet right here is a testament to it's harder than it looks, and clearly Kenneth is falling on some hard times. Like I said, guys, the grass is always greener. I can't even anticipate the levels of sorrow I'm gonna have after I play this last game and F it up. I'm not prepared for it. Fast forward about 19 minutes, he finishes out this last game and tweets, 38-point finish, not enough. There we have it, boys. World record amount for a signed player to not make Sunday. Then if you didn't know, he actually wasn't playing from his home. He was playing at a friend's house who's super close to the Fortnite server, so he could have 0 ping, which obviously means God tier connection. He tweets, "Bepsi went out of his way to give me a place to stay and play. He lent me a setup and room because he wanted someone with a higher chance of qualifying to utilize the ping. All I did was not even make it the Sunday. Wasted both his and my time." Then he tweets, "Therapist this, therapist that. There's nothing a therapist could possibly say to me that I'm not already aware of or haven't been told. Think about it. Oh, you just gotta believe yourself. Well, there you go, boys. Anxiety is no more." Then after that, another 100 Thieves player actually ended up having his power go out during the qualifier for 40 minutes, and he was still able to get top 25 and to secure his spot in day 2 of qualifiers. Kenneth took this, quoted it, and said, "The difference between an actual pro player and me. Virginia, 0 ping, no power issues, didn't even get top 3K. Then he retweeted Ghost Issa, who tweeted, "If you have 0 ping and you haven't qualified yet, you are effing dog crap," which Kenneth is obviously retweeting this because he's just really beating himself up. And then he ends off his rant with the simple "sorry." And that's going to end that thread of tweets. And I feel like that really showcases the struggles that some of these competitive players have to put up with. And it sounds like a vicious cycle. Think about it like this. In order to win in Fortnite, you need to have a lot of composure. You got to be able to outplay anybody no matter what tools you are given. And Fortnite is a game that is full of chance and RNG. There's only so much strategy to it. So players tend to get put in a lot of very unfair situations that are dictated completely by random circumstances. So Kenneth's problem right now is he's in his own head, things don't go his way, he starts choking games. The more games he chokes, the worse he performs. The worse he performs, the more anxiety he has. The more anxiety he has, the more worse he performs. That's basically the cycle he's stuck in. And like I said, I guarantee you Kenneth isn't the only one. If you guys want to do me a favor, I'll leave his Twitter and his Twitch down in the description of this video. Go send him a nice tweet and drop him a follow on Twitch and hang out in his live streams. With all that being said, that wraps up the video, man. What do you guys think of the situation? If you guys were a pro player, do you think you would have a lot of performance anxiety, or do you think you could hang? Are there any other pro players, whether it be in Fortnite or other games like Call of Duty and League of Legends, that you've seen have similar issues? Do you think there's going to be any repercussions with 100 Thieves after he went on this Twitter rant? Like I said, 100 Thieves, very professional org, a lot of eyes on them. As a player for 100 Thieves, you have to be a little careful about what you tweet out, whether or not people can relate to it or not. It's just business. Leave any and all thoughts down in the comments below. I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say. If you guys are a big fan of Fortnite news, Fortnite drama, Fortnite tournament coverage, and highlights, please hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications. Join our notification gang. You guys have been killing the support on the channel. Once again, thank you so much. We're getting very close to 25,000 subscribers. And with all that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next upload. Hope you did enjoy the video. Leave a like if you did. Have a good weekend. Peace out.